Hello my friends, so I welcome all of you, almost 97,000 star seeds, light workers and wanderers to this session. In this session I have channeled Metatron to ask about a very important thing which is happening on the 23rd and 24th, which is the new moon. And for this new moon, Metatron has said that there is going to be some wild energies coming up. So I think all of you must be ready. And Metatron also said that we have around 48 hours remaining to do the exercises and to do what is being said in the session. And I think this is also a very important moment, because at this time the moon becomes very closer to the planet Saturn, and something big is happening as explained in the session. You'll understand how to not only protect your energy, but what you need to do in this time, which is very important, and also a very simple exercise of allowing you to have the maximum benefit of this moment, of this wonderful opportunity, is explained in the session. It's a simple technique. And then the other thing that Metatron has explained is about, I wanted to know, what is free will? So basically, in the session, Metatron says, which is really amazing and also astounding, explains about free will and how it really works in the universe. So I hope you'll understand what's said in the session. And before the session begins, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have joined me on my Patreon, because I have a meditation coming up on 24th. So we can meditate on not only the teachings which have been given today, but also on other things. So make sure if you want to join, you can join. The link is on the description. And with that being said, I'm really grateful that you like the video, as it will help to reach out to other star seeds and wanderers and light workers at this time. So with that being said, enjoy my friends.
I am Metatron Magnetic Consciousness, now in communication through the vibrations of this channel, through the vibrations granted by the One Universal Light Grid Programmer. As the Universal Light Grid Programmer has allowed this communication to reach the Earth planet at this auspicious moment, wherein you all, the people of the Earth planet, who are the creations and the divine love light childs of the Light Grid Programmer, have moments of around 48 hours to understand these aspects about the objective which you can achieve, and also understand about the new moon and its effects upon the energy vibrations of the Earth planet. I, as Metatron Magnetic Consciousness, must warn each one of you who shall listen to our messages to only accept those thoughts which provide you with the highest vibration pattern of reality, and you must remember to let go of your inner understanding and judgment if the information does not resonate with your inner self. I, as Metatron, must now address the first query, which pertains to what is the new moon, which is occurring at the time of around November 23rd to 24th on the Earth planet. There is a higher chance that this new moon will bring forth new and wild energies for many of your people who may not be ready at this time. Therefore, this message is sent forth as a warning to all the universal divine light grid programmers present at this Earth planet in this incarnation, trying to understand about how this new moon will affect the energy vibrations of each mind, body, and spirit entities. The moon satellite, as known by your people, is approaching closer to Saturn planet during this time, wherein the proximity of the moon and the Saturn will be close enough to receive energies from Saturn. The energies from Saturn will be received in the form of love light vibration, as the Galactic Federation may use this opportunity and have decided to use this proximity to send a higher flux of energy vibrations, which may allow many mind-body-spirit complexes to feel the inner distortions of not being able to understand about how such types of vibrations will have a drastic effect upon each mind, body, and spirit complex. Furthermore, the energy which is sent by the Galactic Federation will be full of the vibration of higher level of love, which all entities who are in the vibration above the level of the scale of consciousness, as referred to by your people as the level above 250 or the level above neutrality, shall receive. This energy vibration will be such that the energy codex will, upon receiving the impact on the moon, will then be reflected to the Earth planet. Furthermore, this will happen on a energetic basis, and there will be no signs of physical light being reflected. Furthermore, the energy will shift to the highest level of love vibration for the planet Earth and those beings who are the universal love light childs of the one infinite creator, who shall be at the level of vibration of above 250 is capable of referring by your scientist will be eligible to be accepting such vibration to be capable of bridging into the higher levels of reality. This will allow each one of you to choose a stance of neutrality in this life and in the incarnation. With regards to the information which is also being transmitted to the people at this time, further, the energy vibrations, once it will hit the Earth planet, and in the time of 23rd to 24th of November, we'll see a massive flux of changes within the situations and incarnation experience of many entities. They may experience a higher surge of change of a positive nature in their experience, and some of the entities may also experience the divine light and love of the universal light red programmer to such an extent that they may feel completeness and wholeness. Further, the other reality which must be remembered during this time will be to protect the energy vibrations against emotional reactions, since the people of the Earth planet have the tendency to react to anything negative which may arise in the incarnation. Therefore, they may have the opportunity of understanding that all reactions are but creations of the facets of the mind, which are, in a way, a type of reaction to a situation which is not acceptable by the self. Such reactions of emotional nature are primarily created from within the inner vibrations when the entity is able to feel a sudden change in the nature of the mind space, and such a change in the nature of the mind space may also provide the entity with a greater level of understanding that the inner vibrations which shall change in the timeline will allow the entity to choose what type of emotions they will adhere towards, and all universal light grid programmers must remember to be cautious of the types of emotional reactions they will provide to the various situations which may find themselves in at such a time. The reception of any emotion which may be unwanted will not only provide a hindrance to such an entity's progress, but also may provide a hindrance to the reception of the energies which are approaching the Earth planet in this space and time. Further, I, as Metatron, must also now address that in this moment, the people of your planet must remember to take some time out of their life cycle and just focus on staying in the present moments to be satisfied with all that is available in the incarnation. This type of activity is to be done, and using the free will of each universal light grid programmer, such types of activities will allow the reception and the absorption of the love and light energy which is approaching at the time. This will allow the highest vibration to emanate from within the inner incarnation of each entity, and there may also be a greater realization from the mind, the body, and the spirit complex, wherein the entity will have a higher distortion of understanding about the inner vibrations of the self. There may also be several layers of lessons which will have to be learned by each entity. At such layers of lessons are primarily about the mastery of the present moment by focusing on the moment in which they may find at this time. They will be able to precede this moment and will find themselves having a higher energy of a more positive nature. This will allow them to be rejoice in the moment and stay in the presence of this reality. Further, there are other types of opportunities which will be available to many in this time. One such opportunity is to connect with your spiritual guides, who may primarily be present in the planet Saturn, since many of those spiritual guides are already members of the Galactic Federation. They may be able to have an open connection with many of the universal light grid programmers at this time, allowing for a faster connection and communication, as such communication with spirit guides are available through the process of giving thanks for the connection and the listening to the answers which may arise within the inner heart. Such type of connection will be available at this time. Furthermore, I, as Metatron, must now also state that the second query, which pertains to a simple method which will allow the people of your planet to be fully prepared for this new moon, I must state that there is but one method, and that is using the mind complex to ask the question, how would you feel like if, ever since you were young, only positive events occurred and have occurred in your life? This query will, by asking the self, will allow the feeling of completeness and inner satisfaction to arise. And once this feeling of inner completeness and satisfaction arises, there will be a certain change felt in the lower energy centers of the red ray, the orange ray, and the yellow ray, wherein the universal light grid programmers begin to feel such a feeling of wholeness and completeness, as if all desires were fulfilled, and also the feeling of positive energy shall arise. This quality can also be used to attain or vibrate in the level of completion or unity, which is the level of creation of all of your desires. If the universal light grid programmers were to ask this question, how would it feel if ever since it was young all of its desires were fulfilled? Then such a query will bring forth the emotion or the feeling of completeness which, if maintained during the timeline, will allow for a higher perception in this domain of incarnation, allowing for higher levels of vibration for such entities to learn from. Therefore, I as Metatron must now also address the understanding about the aspect of free will. There is a query placed by this instrument which pertains to understanding about the free will in this universe. I as Metatron must state that there are two facets of free will which has to be learned in this incarnation. Firstly is that the universe may be considered as a matrix by your people, wherein there is not absolute free will, there is only free will beyond the facets of what has been predetermined by the universe. Furthermore, this means that in the universe matrix there is but the light codex, which provides two types of free will. One is the free will of the self, and the other one is the free will of inner choice, which means that if entities on the earth planets they wanted to experience true free will, they must firstly remember that there will be certain events which have already been planned by the self prior to the incarnation, along with the universal codex, which will allow certain events to happen no matter what. Furthermore, such events may have a effect upon the inner vibration of the self. There may also be a higher perception of expression within the internal rhythms of reality, which will eventually allow each entity to have a higher choice in this regard, which means that there are other events which may occur only based on the choice of an entity. Such a choice is to be created from the choice of recognizing the higher aspects of the inner reality, which means that all emotions and feelings and sensations are able to create reality in the timeline, and all emotional states of consciousness which are able to be connected with the inner vibration of the self is able to align and allow each entity with a higher perception of the mind space. This means that there may be certain events which will happen based upon the choices made by each entity in the timeline, and these choices are primarily determined by the levels of free will, such as the free will which is based upon the freedom to choose any thought form, and based upon this freedom to choose any feeling or emotion, and then the freedom to choose any type of emotional reaction to events is the ultimate free will which is available in this universe at the personal divine love light child's level. Therefore, I as Metatron must now state that each mind-body-spirit complex must turn to the mountain of light within yourself. Go forth in this reality, turning to the mountain of light. Bye.
So my friends, I hope you have watched the session, and I hope you enjoyed it, because I really enjoyed listening to it. And the funny thing is, this new moon is really special. And what Metatron said in the session, as far as I remember, is that because the moon is going to be close to Saturn, the energies which is going to emerge from Saturn, the Galactic Federation is going to send some new energies for people who are vibrating at the level of 250. So you just need to reach the level of 250, which is neutrality. And we all know that many of those people, many of you who are listening to this channel, you are already at a higher level, okay? Because otherwise you will not be here. As far as I know, you all are at higher levels, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you are new to this, you need to stay at level of 250 as per the scale of consciousness. And it's very simple, just to be neutral, okay? Just to have a neutral stance in whatever you do in your life, and don't react. Other thing I remember is they said not to react emotionally, because as far as I know, emotional reactions can be really hurting, not only to yourself but also to other people. Because just imagine if you react negatively to a certain situation, it will change your energy, it will change your vibration, not just for that moment but for a long time. So it will have an effect. And also as we all know that our emotions, our feelings, they have the ability of creating reality. So just be, just choose what you want to react to. That's what I'm saying. And the other thing is, listen, there may be, many moments where many people, they forget to be, thankful. They forget to just enjoy the moment. There may be moments where people, they never just breathe and relax and stay in the present moment. So this is the time. We need to stay in the present moment. Just enjoy. How many times should human beings like us just keep on doing and doing, right? We need to just relax for some time and just enjoy in the moment. Enjoy the present moment. That's what Metatron said, that we need to enjoy the present moment, and that will allow us to receive this energy which is coming in. And the energy which is coming in will allow you to reach even higher levels of consciousness. So in this period, I think it's very important that we choose to stay in the present moment, and also to allow this energy to enter our system. Because if we are at a lower level than 250, then I think the energy coming from Saturn will not enter our energy body, okay? And the other thing I remember is they said the connection with our spiritual guides is also strengthened at this time, which is amazing. And because they said that spiritual guides, many of them, they are in the planet Saturn. So I think if you want to connect with your spirit guides, this may be a good time to just open up and receive communication. So the final thing I remember, what Metatron said, is about a simple method, which is to ask yourself the question, how would you feel like if ever since you were a child, everything that happened in your life was amazing? So just ask yourself the question, how would you feel like if ever since you were a child, you had only positive events happen in your life, right? You'll feel a change in your body, okay? Like you'll feel something happen in your energy centers. It feels so good if you just do this. And this is one of the methods which I liked really well. And the other thing that Metatron says about free will is that in the universe there are two types of free will. Firstly, there is no free will at the outset. Certain events are already planned in our life, but when we incarnate, we have the free will to choose, to think, to feel, and that creates a reality. So it's a combination of not having free will. There are certain events which are predetermined by your soul contract, and then there are certain events which you can create whatever you want, right? So that's what I understood from the session. I hope you also understood the same thing. And with that being said, I want to say thank you to all of you for sending me requests for your past life, your current life purpose, and also your soul name, and any other questions you may have. I'll help you out on this email over here. And also thank you all for joining me on a Patreon so we can do meditations. I also upload 3 sessions a week, and sometimes I upload sessions which cannot be shared in YouTube. And the other thing is, I want to say big thank you to all of you for getting the paperback version of my sessions which I have done till now. The link is on the description. With that being said, I will see you in the next session. Until that time, I think you'll enjoy this video over here. Thank you.